We can just start talking whenever. We can start the show whenever. Cool.
Let's do it.
All right, I'll count us down when I'm about ready to start. I had to take a drink, clean out the pipes.
Good. Did you, Jeff?
Yeah. Are you ready?
Yes.
Greg? Ooh. Ooh. What is up for reelers? How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. Black lives still matter.
Yes,
I hope that all you guys know that.
Very much so. And I know that on the last show, we talked about how if you wanted to educate yourself movie-wise, Just Mercy is playing for free on all streaming platforms. I just saw this morning The Hate U Give is also doing that as well. So anywhere you can stream movies, Amazon, iTunes, anywhere The Hate U Give is also streaming for free if you want to further your education.
Also I saw on Amazon Prime, they have listed a bunch of movies to educate yourself on. I'm not even going to get into the list of that. Go ahead and log into your Amazon Prime if you do have one and just check off on all the free content that Amazon has provided for its customers. Now is the time to do so because it wasn't there before. It's there right now.
So speaking of movies and the movie theater going experience, we do have some news regarding that for out here for you California folks. Starting this Friday, June 12th, movie theaters can reopen in California.
Whoa.
They've been given the go-ahead with certain provisions. It's as far as this recording, don't know if the governor has approved of them, but they have been submitted. It would limit seating to 25%. Theater attendees would have to wear face coverings when entering and exiting the theaters and while purchasing food and drinks at the concession stands. They also ask that you wear your mask at all times when not eating, drinking, or whenever you can't physically distance from other people. These guidelines seem to kind of fly in the face of what Cinemark had been planning to do, quite controversially, where they weren't going to require guests to wear masks at all. Seems like if they want to reopen, they're going to have to wear masks.
Ooh. Well, I hope that they do. I know that there were articles that had Cinemark saying that they weren't going to do that. And we'll just see how that works out going into this new phase. I know that they're probably thinking more about their guests in terms of their enjoyment level and not necessarily based on the realness of the situation. Like COVID-19 didn't just disappear. Countries are now taking more steps and trying to open up the economy again. I know that New Zealand is completely open as of last week, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I just saw, as a matter of fact, this is a little bit of latest news that dropped today as of 55 minutes ago. AMC Theaters disclosed a $2.7 billion quarterly loss amid the pandemic closure. The theater chain, which is expected to fully open globally by July, as it reopens, risks not surviving the coronavirus pandemic. And I know that that has been a concern for a lot of moviegoers. I've seen a lot of articles saying that moviegoers they're saddened by the fact that the pandemic has done, and this is not, I'm sure that this is a sample size of what multiple theaters are feeling around the world, far less for AMC. AMC has roughly about 500 theaters nationwide, and
it's got to be
more
more
locations. It's about, well, you know, well, I'll have to double check that number,
Yeah.
but roughly around 500. Um, you may be right. It might be more, but um, as one of the larger movie theater chains, it's kind of disheartening to see what the pandemic has done to the industry in that regard. And
I think with AMC, I don't think that they will completely shut down. I think that some of their key locations will stay open. It's
mm,
just it won't be found as readily as it is now.
yeah,
Like I don't think that they are going to completely shut her down and there just won't be an AMC anymore.
yeah, I think that that's very true. I think that they will probably sell off a lot of or close down some of the locations that they have to procure the company itself, make sure that they don't sink. But seeing that, the industry itself has been seeing a decline for the past 5 years in terms of moviegoers, might have an influence as to how things are going to run, not just for AMC, but for a couple of the other movie chains, such as Regal, Cinemark, etc. We could see some sort of business strategy moving forward to try and procure what they're able to do from what they're not able to do.
And I mean it's going to be an interesting time in the next couple of weeks because a lot of the theater chains, even though they aren't going to starting Friday.
Mm-hmm.
They have to take time to assess what it'll be like to reopen, and it's going to be interesting to see how quickly the theaters do open, like how much of a rush that they're in with the first movie being available for theatrical is a Russell Crowe movie that the title is actually escaping me right now.
Research.
I think that comes out on July 1st. So, I mean, I can see a lot of these theaters not opening up until like the week before that. And the movie's called Unhinged. Unhinged. Russell Crowe plays the man.
Interesting.
Man with no name. Anyway, yeah.
he's just the man.
July 1st is when the first movie will be available for theatrical. It's called Unhinged. And I mean, we'll see. I don't think that people are really in the rush to open, especially with all of this happening while cases are spiking.
Correct, and we'll see. We'll definitely see how that goes. This doesn't change the fact that trailers are still dropping, content's still out there. We have 2 trailers to talk about today. One on VOD. I can't. The data escapes me, but we'll get there when we get there.
It's the 19th.
The 19th
of this month. Yeah, it comes out in 2 weeks.
Fantastic. So we have, first of all, we have Bill and Ted Face the Music trailer. Not music trailer, but Face the Music trailer that dropped just about a couple hours ago, today being Tuesday, the 9th. And Tyler, what did you think about this? How did this hit you?
I think it'll be fun. The sequel's been long in the works. They got both stars back.
Mm-hmm.
They got the director of Galaxy Quest to direct it. Somebody who knows their way around comedy. Love Galaxy Quest. Hopefully, it can find the same kind of humor and heart as that one did. And the Bill and Ted movies are classics, and it's fun, despite it being a long there being a long distance between when the last movie came out and this one. I think it could still be fun and see these two guys play up the personas that kind of started off their careers as well.
Yeah, it'll be fun to see, because we have seen Keanu Reeves act as a goofball before, especially, well, for me, was in Toy Story when he was the stunt man. That was hilarious. And also in the SpongeBob movie, he was ridiculous in that as well. I like him in both. I like him in both. But to see him from the Chronicles of John Wick. Yes, I just put that out there. Y'all better make a Chronicles of John Wick. But seeing the Chronicles of John Wick and all the action type movies that he's been in, where he's more stone faced, serious character, to come out and do something that initially started him off. In the trailer, it didn't feel like he was completely into the character, but only time could tell, and we'll wait and see that one. Next up, we have You Should Have Left, the trailer. Starring Kevin Bacon. This is the one that drops in July, correct? July 19th?
In June, in 2 weeks.
June 19th. Drops June 19th, literally 10 days away. What can I say? It's kind of leading into our top 10 for today in terms of the style of movie. But what are your thoughts, Tyler? What do you think about it?
I'll always it is from Blumhouse, and I'll always at least give them some sort of credit, even if the finished product doesn't turn out that great. It's kind of seems like it's got an interesting premise. I do feel like the trailer might have given too much away. Like I feel like I've kind of partially watched a lot of the movie. Hopefully, it can prove me wrong, but I mean, especially on VOD, it might not be bad for a night in.
Shouldn't be. I'm not sure if I want to give my money away on this one. If I have to, if I don't have to, I may go and watch it. But we'll see how it goes. It feels very cookie cutter routine to me. Nothing feels new about the story, but it does look like a lot of fun. There are great actors in this one, and it's in an enclosed space. So it should be a good horror thriller. Get the adrenaline pumping.